So glad to be back, of course. Today I'm going to be reviewing the Physicians Formula CC Plus Correct Conceal Cover Cream with an SPF of 30. This is a fairly brand new product that's out with Physicians Formula. As somebody who is very much on a budget with moving expenses, I appreciate a good quality product from the drugstore. And it's really nice to know that they're out there simply because we don't necessarily always have the means to buy good stuff, but maybe we're not even in the vicinity of a place to get the really good stuff. If you're like me and you live maybe a good hour or so away from a Sephora and you like to see your products in person, going to a drugstore is also a great option, budget aside. This isn't an ordinary CC cream. This is specifically designed to cover, conceal, and correct. Now, a CC cream does mean that. It does mean that it's supposed to correct, it's supposed to conceal, it's supposed to blur out all the bad stuff that we don't want the world to see. But some are better than others. The big idea with doing BBs, CCs, DDs, and God help us if we ever do the ZZs, but the whole idea with them is that our wonderful skincare is in there mixed with a little bit of a color tint to help provide us that beautiful canvas. I do like a CC cream. And the reason being is because they have beneficial skincare properties. Sometimes I do like to step out of my way and stop using the full coverage and see if I can get my skin to heal and look really nice. I've noticed whenever I step away from the medium to full coverage foundations, my skin really starts a big healing process, and those CCs and BB creams become even more easier to use. With that being said, but if you're somebody who's a big skincare addict junkie and know-it-all like I am, you are going to put skincare under just about anything, any product that sits on top of your skin and has color. So that being said, I really feel like, you know, brands know what they're doing, they know what people are buying, they know what people want. And in the United States, we buy a lot more color than we do skincare. So it's no wonder that it's in the majority of foundations, but I've noticed the majority of drugstore foundations kind of ease back a little bit, so you're not creating a disastrous cocktail for your face. I like my skincare to work as my skincare. Sometimes I just want my color just to be my color. When I start mixing a compilation of crazy cocktailing, it can really dry out my skin. So I like a little bit of, you know, ease up on some of the extreme hyaluronic acids and all that in my foundation. This product feels very smooth and creamy and gentle on the skin and has a glamorous, lightweight, yet medium coverage. Now when I say to medium, I mean you can put on concealer and bump it to a medium, but this just kind of lays on the skin very lovingly. It goes on very silky without being too wet. It doesn't pill easily, so it's not going to be a bad product for very, very, very dry skin. But it also does help with discoloration and signs of anti-aging. This is an excellent product for people who live in the heat, people who have visible signs of sun damage, whether that's dry skin or people who have visible signs of actual darkness, discoloration due to sun damage. So what I really like about this is that it really is formulated to combat the key signs that most women face with sun and typical aging. Does that make sense? With the yellow, the green, and the pink pigments, you're getting like this really awesome disperse of color camouflage, and they've been selling color camouflage palettes for years. And what's really beautiful about kind of putting this idea to light, it really lets you know all those wonderful pigments that are really kind of, you know, making your foundation special and unique and especially formulated for your skin. And we probably don't necessarily need our own individual color because it would either look really peachy or really muddy, but what we really need are those perfect concealing pigments to enhance our skin, because when we lay them over our skin, they're obviously already going to change color to a degree because they're laying on human flesh and skin. So I really like that when you buy this product, you already kind of know maybe it looks a little dark in the tube, and when you disperse it looks a little bit nicer. That's another reason why I like to get CCs and BBs at the drugstore. before a foundation is because if it's not the perfect match, it's sheer, so you can get it to work with your face. What I like about this particular BB or CC cream is that even though it is very fresh and pretty and lays on the skin really beautifully, it doesn't have to be creamy to do that. Overly creamy, I mean. It is literally just lovingly emollient, perfect property. If you really wanted to use this under a powder foundation, you definitely could, and you could probably knock out, you probably wouldn't have to use some of your green, red, or yellow concealers because this is sort of taking care of that for you. There's many uses with the CC cream, aside from the obvious sunscreen and skincare corrective properties. I have come to find that CCs are usually much more lightweight than BB creams. And the reason why you don't have to wear as much concealer as you used to have to wear with other products is because of those little color, you know, changing concealing properties. That's really all there is to it. We don't need to kick on heavy concealer. I usually find concealer to be more cosmetic looking than I find it to be really a necessity. So with that being said, because it isn't super runny or super creamy, it is very long lasting on the skin, and this is really a good product for just about any look. It really doesn't have this weird glowy look on camera, but it does have a freshness to it, and I love that fresh look that looks like you either just applied your face, and even if some of the natural oils in the sun break through a little bit of your foundation, you don't look super wet, you don't feel sticky, your skin can breathe in the heat. Like right now, this is probably the coolest I have felt out here in the hot heat because I don't really feel like I'm wearing my face. And that's a big deal for makeup wear. We get used to wearing our face, but we don't necessarily want to either. This is going to be a really great product for a hot, sweaty night out here, and it's going to be a really fun product if you want a little bit of coverage for the pool. This is a really fun product. I have worn it every day since I got it. I'm sensitive skin, I'm 30 years old, I live in a humid climate, and I don't think I'm perfect looking, but this is gorgeous. I love this stuff. This will be a key product that I will use not only as something that I can incorporate into skincare, but it's also a good lazy day foundation, and it is glamorous looking. I don't think I've ever been able to say that of a foundation before. It seems silly that I'm raving about a $14.99 foundation, but the last Physicians formula I tried out, which was the Nude Wear foundation, which I reviewed when I first moved down here, I was really head over heels for it. It was a game changer for me. It truly made me realize that I was spending way too much money on foundation. I mean, come on, I was paying $50 for foundation, and now I'm looking back on it, I'm kind of disgusted that I didn't think that that was a huge monthly bill. Now, there are times I wasn't always able to get my skincare on the week I needed it in California necessarily, and there were times that I really hunted down a $20 to a $30 foundation, but I guess I didn't look hard enough, or I didn't go to the drugstore, because this is a game changer. I love Physicians formula. I highly recommend this. I give this 2 amazing thumbs up.